Ancient Greece dazzled the world with its art, philosophy, and architecture. Athens, with its democracy and navy, and Sparta, with its military might, stood as rivals. But Greece was never a single nation. It was a patchwork of fiercely independent city-states, or polis. Each city-state had its own government, culture, and ambitions. This independence fueled innovation but also constant rivalry and war. The Peloponnesian War between Athens and Sparta drained both sides, leaving Greece weakened. Even after major wars, smaller conflicts erupted, alliances shifted, and trust eroded. Loyalty was to one city, not to a united Greece. This disunity made Greece vulnerable to outside threats. The memory of past glories like defeating Persia lingered, but the reality was one of division. As Greece's golden age faded, its fractured politics became a fatal weakness. The city-state's inability to unite would open the door for new powers to rise. When Rome began to look east, it saw a land rich in culture but divided and ripe for conquest. The seeds of Greece's vulnerability were sown in its greatest age. The brilliance of Greece was matched only by its inability to stand together. This internal strife set the stage for foreign domination. The world watched as Greece, once a beacon of civilization, became a prize for ambitious empires. The story of Greece is not just one of achievement but also of missed opportunities for unity. Its legacy would inspire the world, but its divisions would shape its fate. The rise of Rome would soon test the strength and the weakness of the Greek world. The Golden Age had ended and a new era was about to begin. Greece's fractured landscape would never be the same. North of Greece, Macedon was long dismissed as backward by the southern Greeks. That changed under King Philip II, a master strategist who reformed the Macedonian army and created the fearsome phalanx. Philip conquered neighboring regions and then turned south, exploiting Greek disunity. At Chaeronea in 338 BC, Philip crushed Athens and Thebes, ending the independence of the city-states. He formed the League of Corinth, uniting Greece under his rule. Before he could invade Persia, Philip was assassinated. His son Alexander inherited his ambitions. Alexander the Great launched a campaign that toppled the Persian Empire and spread Greek culture from Egypt to India. Greek became the language of the Eastern Mediterranean. Cities named Alexandria flourished. But after Alexander's sudden death, his empire fractured. His generals, the Diadochi, fought for control, dividing the empire into rival Hellenistic kingdoms, Seleucid, Ptolemaic, and Antigonid. These kingdoms were powerful but constantly at war, weakening the Greek world. Greek culture thrived, but the dream of unity faded. The Hellenistic kingdoms' rivalries left Greece vulnerable to outside intervention. The stage was set for a new power to exploit these divisions. Rome, watching from the west, saw opportunity in the chaos. The era of Greek independence was drawing to a close. While Greece fractured, Rome was rising in Italy. Founded, as legend says, by Romulus and Remus, Rome grew from a small city-state into a republic. Through war and diplomacy, Rome unified the Italian peninsula. The Roman legion, disciplined and adaptable, became a formidable force. Rome offered citizenship or allied status to conquered peoples, integrating them into its system. After defeating rivals like the Samnites in the Greek cities of southern Italy, Rome controlled a vast, resource-rich territory. With Italy secure, Rome turned outward, clashing with Carthage in the Punic Wars. These epic conflicts made Rome the dominant power in the western Mediterranean. Rome's armies grew stronger, its navy expanded, and its ambitions soared. With Carthage defeated, Rome's gaze shifted eastward. The wealthy, divided Hellenistic kingdoms of Greece beckoned. Rome was now a Mediterranean superpower, ready to challenge the legacy of Alexander. The next great struggle would be for the soul of the Greek world. Rome's rise was unstoppable, and Greece was in its sights. The balance of power in the ancient world was about to shift. The fate of Greece would soon be decided not by Greeks but by Romans. The stage was set for a clash of civilizations. The story of Rome and Greece was about to begin in earnest. After the Punic Wars, Rome's attention turned east. The Greek world was wealthy and culturally rich, but politically fragmented. Trade drew Roman merchants to the eastern Mediterranean, seeking Greek goods and new markets. Piracy along the Illyrian coast threatened Roman interests, prompting military intervention. These campaigns brought Rome into direct contact with Greek states for the first time. Some Greeks welcomed Rome as a counterbalance to Macedonian power, others saw Roman involvement as a threat. Greek city-states and leagues caught between rival Hellenistic kingdoms sometimes invited Roman help. Rome presented itself as a protector of Greek freedom, but also sought to expand its influence. Preventing any single power from dominating Greece was in Rome's interest. Strategic, political, and economic motives all played a role. Roman generals saw opportunities for glory and wealth. Rome's presence in Greece grew, setting the stage for deeper involvement. The lines between ally and conqueror began to blur. Rome's interventions would soon escalate from diplomacy to war. The fate of Greece was increasingly in Roman hands. The first direct confrontations were about to begin. The First Macedonian War erupted as Rome fought Hannibal in the west. King Philip V of Macedon allied with Hannibal, hoping to expand while Rome was distracted. Philip attacked Roman protectorates in Illyria, drawing Rome into Greek affairs. Rome, stretched thin, sent limited forces and allied with the Aetolian League in Pergamon. The war was a series of raids and skirmishes with no decisive battles. Neither side achieved a clear victory. The Peace of Pydna restored the status quo. The war marked Rome's first major military intervention in Greece. It established Rome as a player in Hellenistic politics and created lasting resentment. Philip felt thwarted. Romans remembered his alliance with Hannibal. The peace was uneasy, a truce, not a settlement. Tensions simmered, making further conflict inevitable. Rome was now committed to a presence in the east. The First Macedonian War was only the beginning. The struggle for control of Greece was far from over. Rome's ambitions and Greek resistance would soon collide again. The next war would be decisive. The balance of power was shifting. The peace after the First Macedonian War was short-lived. Philip V resumed aggression, threatening Rome's allies. Rome demanded he stop. When he refused, the Second Macedonian War began. Titus Quinctius Flamininus, a general and admirer of Greek culture, led Rome's campaign. He promised to liberate Greece from Macedonian rule, winning local support. At Cynoscephalae in 197 BC, Roman legions faced the Macedonian phalanx on hilly terrain. The flexible Roman maniples exploited gaps in the phalanx, leading to a crushing victory. Philip surrendered, giving up his Greek territories and fleet. The battle proved the superiority of the Roman legion over the phalanx. Rome's influence in Greece was now undeniable. Macedon, weakened but not defeated, rallied under Perseus, Philip's son. Perseus rebuilt the army and sought alliances, alarming Rome. The Third Macedonian War erupted. Initial battles were indecisive. In 168 BC, Lucius Aemilius Paulus took command for Rome. At Pydna, the Macedonian phalanx again faltered on rough ground. Roman legions broke through, slaughtering the Macedonians. Perseus fled but was captured. Macedon's power was shattered. The Battle of Pydna ended the Antigonid dynasty. Macedon was divided and made subject to Rome. The era of Macedonian independence was over. Rome's dominance in Greece was complete. The last hope for Greek resistance had fallen. Greece's fate was now in Roman hands. The ancient balance of power had been overturned. With Macedon defeated, Rome's control over Greece tightened. Greek freedom became a formality. Roman influence was absolute. Resentment grew, leading to the Achaean War in 146 BC. The Romans crushed the Achaean League and destroyed Corinth, sending a brutal message. Greek leagues were dissolved. Most of Greece became a Roman province. Roman rule brought stability and new infrastructure, but also subjugation. The independent polis faded. Roman governors and taxes became the norm. Some Greeks prospered under Rome, but many mourned their lost autonomy. The vibrant political life of Greece was extinguished. Greece was now a respected but conquered province of Rome. The age of Greek independence was over. Rome's conquest of Greece transformed both civilizations. Greece lost its independence, but its culture flourished under Roman rule. Greek art, philosophy, and science flooded into Rome, shaping Roman society. Greek tutors, artists, and scholars became fixtures in Roman life. Roman literature, art, and religion absorbed Greek influences. The fusion of Greek and Roman traditions created the Greco-Roman world. This new civilization blended Roman power with Greek intellect and artistry. The legacy of Greece endured, even as its freedom vanished. The Greco-Roman world became the foundation of Western civilization. Roman law and engineering, Greek philosophy and art. Together, they shaped history. The story of Rome and Greece is one of conquest, but also of cultural transformation. Their shared legacy still echoes in our world today.